I will admit, for a weapon that the blueprints on Meso C3, the blades are on Axi N5s and the handle is Lith H1, that Lith H1 is a pain to get mined. I've dropped one so far. It's actually being really problematic for that thing to drop. The Nami Skyla, not really such a widely used weapon because it's slow and has pretty much no crit. Well, that's been fixed. You can see it's a huge improvement. Its attack speed is quicker, its crit chance is way better, which is why I think I'm going to leave these equipped for a while, because I use crit based focus tree things, so that will be fairly useful depending on how the damage and other things work. The status, yeah, that's way up there. It's 30% status. That is a high status chance weapon actually. Once modded, that is going to be insane. Impact, little bit lower, but the puncture's higher and the slash is higher. Though not by a great deal, but visually these things do look so much nicer. Luckily though, it does come with two V polarities and a D polarity. The stances, well, it's dual swords. You can either go crossing snakes or swirling tiger. Depends which one you like. Crossing snakes will give you more points than swirling tiger though, but of course, because it's a 30% status, it means taking it to 100 is actually pretty easy to do. Having had a few extra days to work on this, I decided not to go for that whole 100% status build, throwing in condition overload. You don't really need it, but you could put weeping wounds on as well, but that would take the 100% status and kind of ruin it. I eventually settled more for just going with one elemental combo. Of course, this can be changed between the two different dual status mods, otherwise you do have to forma this with another V, possibly a dash, to fit just the elemental mods, and then you won't get as much status. I have drifting contact in here, which does add more status chance and increases the combo counter, as does body count, which is kind of a must because I threw weeping wounds on, which adds the missing percentage for the status chance that was kind of lost by not running all four mods, which should take it close to 100 anyway. And then of course condition overload, plus 60% melee damage for each status type affecting the enemy. That's where I wish I'd gone for all four of the dual stat mods, but the combo counter just wasn't working out too well, and I wanted the best build I could without putting a forma in it. If I was going to put a forma in, I would get rid of the drifting contact, make that a V, and then I could fit a blood rush in there, and probably added another element to this just for the sake of having it. Heat, set them on fire or something. That would also have increased it, but that should increase the crit chance as well as weeping wounds, increasing the status chance with the combo going up, hence body count and drifting contact. I couldn't decide where this weapon really falls. Does it fall in the realm of full-on status-built weapons, or does it fall within the crit-based weapons? Because it's kind of good at both. I know it only has 20% crit chance, but throw Blood Rush on here with that body count and drifting contact combo, it can crit pretty nicely. Okay, it's only a 1.5 times multiplier, but I found it working not as well as other crit based weapons, but it did work pretty well. And that weeping wounds adding to the already up to 78% just from the Voltic Strike and Virulent Scourge I had on to add corrosive to it, meant it was doing status pretty much all the time, and condition overload adding that 60% melee damage left it in the realm of it's an actual okay kind of balanced between crit and status based weapon, considering the ballistica prime was pretty much the same. It was balanced slash and puncture. This is balanced crit and status. That threw me off with this at first, and I couldn't decide what to do with it or where it worked out. But it's not really high damage numbers. Even with primed pressure point in here, the impact only went to 15.9, the puncture went to 31.8, and the slash only went to 111.3. That's lower than... I think the Helio Core does more damage than that before putting mods into it. So it's not a high damaging weapon, but it makes up for it by having a pretty decent status chance and a pretty decent crit chance. Anything over 20% crit chance does work out to be pretty effective against most enemies. This weapon, I'm going to leave it equipped because it's been, I don't want to say better than expected. I was building it to be a crit weapon. It didn't work out as well as other ones. I built it to be a status weapon and it was okay, but I missed the crit, so I leveled it off somewhere in between and found it to be more useful for basically just going up against every enemy type at once. I didn't have to have different builds for different enemies, and that was actually really useful on this. Plus, it does look pretty damn nice. Really nice looking weapon. It's probably one of my favourite looking primes in a while. Anyway, we'll leave this off here for now. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch yous next time.